As the West faces a rising tide of authoritarianism, a chilling irony emerges. Its greatest threat is possibly not from abroad, but from within. American leaders speak grandly of defending democracy and free speech worldwide, yet their silence is deafening as fundamental freedoms are eroded at home. In January, Gonzalo Lira, an American citizen, died in a Ukrainian prison for daring to share his views on YouTube. His government offered no assistance. More recently, Pavel Durov, founder of Telegram, was arrested in France on an array of charges, but many speculating his true crime being insufficient content moderation. In Brazil, X was banned for resisting a judge's authoritarian demands, while the EU edges closer to a criminal investigation against Elon Musk for platforming disinformation, including conversations deemed unfit for public discourse. Even the United Kingdom, once a stalwart defender of civil liberties, now imprisons critics of open borders policies with more fervor than it addresses violent crime. Canada, under Justin Trudeau, crushed a trucker protest against vaccine mandates by freezing bank accounts, a draconian measure signaling the rise of a new age of repression. The Biden administration, far from defending these freedoms, is complicit. Meta's Mark Zuckerberg revealed that the White House pressured the platform to censor content during the COVID pandemic. The FBI's intervention to suppress stories about the Biden family's corruption under the guise of combating Russian disinformation further exposes the fragility of American democracy. As TikTok faces a looming shutdown in the US and other platforms like X come under threat, the question becomes whether the US is following in the footsteps of Brazil and the EU in stifling dissent. The paradox deepens as those calling for these crackdowns on free speech are the same voices proclaiming a global war on authoritarianism against adversaries like Russia and China. Yet, these external foes are incapable of stripping Americans of their rights. That power lies solely with their own government. The real front line in the battle against authoritarianism isn't in distant lands, but in the West itself, where leaders seem more intent on silencing their citizens than protecting their freedoms. As the specter of censorship grows, the world watches, waiting to see which path the West will choose. Will it stand firm in defense of the freedoms it claims to cherish, or will it succumb to the authoritarianism it professes to despise? With an election on the horizon, the stakes have never been higher. Donald Trump has positioned himself as a defender of free speech, but was the assassination attempt a wake-up call to remind him who's really in charge? Meanwhile, Kamala Harris and the current administration remain ominously quiet about the threat to our freedoms, suggesting a continuation of policies that edge closer to Orwellian control. In the end, the West's struggle is not just against foreign powers, but against its own impulse to control and suppress. As the countdown to a decision ticks away, the question remains: will freedom survive, or will the West be consumed by the very authoritarianism it claims to fight against?